Hey ladies, it's Mara. Just want to give you an update. Today I'm 9 days past my 5-day transfer. And this morning I was supposed to take my beta. So, today, so really, my story starts on Wednesday, which is 7 days past. That afternoon, when I used the restroom, I had some slight bleeding, very pink, like the color of my lips, pink. And the next time I went to the bathroom, maybe a couple hours later, it was a bit brighter. You know, I wouldn't say red, but a bit brighter, but not heavy. And if you saw me on Facebook, I was panicking a little bit because in my mind, that's really late for implant. I mean, I was already at 7 days, and you know, if you think about the calendar and how implantation works, I should have done that 2 days ago. However, I'm not a doctor and I don't know anything, so I'm just thinking that it's too late, or it's really early for a period. So I of course asked Dr. Google what he thought about it, and I just needed to wait and see, you know, if it got worse or not. So Thursday, it was about the same, not heavier, not really redder. In fact, there were some brown moments there. So nothing too crazy, but by this point, I'm getting really anxious and upset, and I had done really well. If you've watched my other videos, I mean, I was doing really well. Sorry, my camera's shaky. Being very positive and not letting anything get to me, and just overall not freaking out unless I had a reason to freak out. But the blood was really freaking me out. So, by Thursday night, I wasn't feeling good, and emotionally, and my husband wasn't feeling good, and he's very soft about this whole situation. Anyways, I think I don't know if it's possible, but it really was getting to him a little more than it was me, because I was being so positive about it. He does not have those capabilities to be positive, so he was really having a tough time. But at that point, I decided for sure Thursday night I was going to take a home pregnancy test the next morning before we left for the beta, because I really just didn't want to wait all day, or however long it was going to be, to find out the results. And if it said no, then I would get a pleasant surprise if my nurse called and said, "Yay, it's not no." And if it said yes, then I would have at least a moment of relief before she calls and tells me the real news. So I looked at my cabinet, and I knew I had a digital left over from the last time I cycled, which was this time last year. Yeah, that's right. This time last year. In my head. Anyways, it was expired. I just said, what the hell? Because I'm not going to go out and buy another test for a cycle I'm freaking out about, and a cycle I am having a beta on the next day. So I'm going to go with my expired test. So I got it out. I'm miserable because, the blood, and I have almost no symptoms of anything. I mean, the blood and like some mild cramps, they're not even cramps really, just some achy things. And I've been a little constipated, and that's it. If I were to say there were symptoms, those would be the three: the blood, cramps, constipation. And I don't know what any of that means. It could be a period, it could be pregnancy. You don't know. So I was just feeling really bad, and finally it was 5, and I got up, let the dogs out, wash my face. I put it off. Yeah, I'm totally putting this off, by the way. Like I'm not even, I wanted to get up. My body wanted me to get up at 4:30, but by the time I was up, I didn't actually want to do the test. I'm afraid of them. Some people love to pee on a stick. They just can't wait to see the lines. I am always opposite because I've seen so many negative tests. I don't like doing them. I really don't. They scare me. They really scare me. So I put off taking this test for almost another 15 minutes. I had to pee really bad at this point, too. I'm so stupid. He says, is there any way that this is wrong? And he hands it to me, and it says pregnant. Yeah. It was positive. And of course, I busted out crying. And I told him, I said, I wasn't expecting that. No, that's right. You can have a false negative, but you can't have a false positive. It's one or the other. Yes, you're pregnant, or you're just not pregnant, you know? We pretty much fall into a heap of crying tears for a good 5 minutes. We still have to go to the beta, so we need to get our shit together fast. So that's good news. That's the first positive pregnancy test I've ever had in my life. So even for a moment in time, I was pregnant. So we get in the car. We drive our 2 hours, go to Jacksonville. They stick me for blood. They can't get any out. They never can. I have the worst veins ever. They stick me for blood again. Finally, they get some out. And they send me on my way. So I drove all the way over there for 5 minutes. That's fine. It's for a good reason. And then we drove home, and Aaron's miserable because he's very happy that we got what we got so far. But, you know, anybody who's been down this path knows, not there yet. Not there yet. You know, there's so many more steps ahead. And I'm going to take it slowly, one day at a time. One moment at a time today, because I've got my positive pregnancy test in the morning, but I still have to get my beta numbers. Okay, so she actually called me fairly fast because I was expecting to get called like by 4 o'clock. They had called me by 1. And my nurse said, "Did you cheat and take a test?" I told her, I said, "Yes, I did. I took one this morning, but I didn't take it 3 days ago. I waited until this morning to take it." And I told her about the bleeding and, you know, my concerns and stuff like that. So she thinks it's the bleeding is from irritated cervix. The progesterone suppositories I've been taking have just irritated it. I don't think that's completely true because yesterday, when I was doing the little bit of bleeding, there was actually a clot of blood. Very small clot. Very, you know, hardly anything. Nothing to worry about. So it made me think I actually might have had implantation bleeding. And to me, that's like unicorns. Like, no one has implantation bleeding. Lots of people talk about it, but nobody has it. But because of the clot, I believe that's probably what it was. So I guess it can happen later. I don't know. If it was just red or you know, brown or whatever, I would have thought maybe it was the irritation from the progesterone. But because of the clot, it makes me think it's definitely an implantation bleed. Who knows? We'll never know. But she proceeds. She's like, "Well, congratulations. You are pregnant." And before she could even get out her next words, I said, "What's the number?" "Tell me what the number is, please." Because that means everything. You know? Everybody knows. The number means everything. Whatever this number is you're about to give me, That's what's important. She said my number was 132. So, I'm officially pregnant. Like, real pregnant. Real pregnant. Some strange things happened after that. She said, she told me to stop taking my metformin, which I'm not so sure about, and I'll probably talk about that in a video later. Stop taking the baby aspirin, which is fine. That makes perfect sense. I'm supposed to lower my dose of the estradiol. I was on 3 a day because I took Lupron for my trigger instead of HCG because of the OHSS, and I was so overstimulated. So they upped my estradiol, so I need to lower that back down a little. Keep taking the suppositories. And then she said I'm going to come in for a fetal ultrasound on the 8th of April. And I asked her, I said, you don't want another beta test? She's like, no, I'm perfectly happy with this number. You know, she's like, we'll do the ultrasound and that'll be fine. And I was like, okay. She said, do you want another beta? And at that moment, I decided to relax a little bit, and I said, no, I'm just going to let it be. And this way I'm not worrying about another blood test, you know? I'm just going to let it be. And that's it. She hung up. So, I didn't mean to drag this video out and give you the news at the end of the video, but at the same time, I wanted you to experience the way I had experienced it, you know? I didn't want you to have the good news right away and get that quick satisfaction. I wanted you to go through it with me. Because that's what you're here for, right? You're here to experience all of this with me. I called my husband after she called and gave me the number, and he just bawled on the phone. I mean, it's a relief, you know? You just feel automatically better because you're not worrying about something again. Obviously, we still have the next step of the fetal ultrasound. It's been a good day. I never thought I'd get this far. I've never been this far. So it's been a really good day. I have nothing to complain about. So, I've been doing this for 5 years. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but today has been a small victory. And I'll happily take it. You know, I remember the first time that I had even a positive OPK. That was a great day because it was a victory. I had done, up to that point, I had done maybe 8 or so cycles, never ever getting a positive OPK. And I remember that day because I bawled too, because, I mean, it was a step forward. And I had never been that far before. So today's a big step forward. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to continue to not worry about it as much as I possibly can. And just enjoy the joy that I have right now. And not worry. I'll let my husband worry. He's very good at it. I'm just going to let him keep doing it. So, that's it. I'm going to quit crying now. Pull my shit together. And just be happy.